Hello again everyone, it's fantastic to see you. Thank you very much for those of you that responded to my assembly last week. And actually I just want to take a moment to say well done and thank you to everyone who has been really actively engaging with their remote learning. I'm really lucky in that I have access to everyone's remote classrooms, and I've been keeping an eye on what you've been doing, and there's some really pleasing work and responses coming back, just showing how much you're working hard, but showing how you're keeping up and coping with this new and different way of learning. So today I'm going to share a story with you. Okay, I'm going to share The Dot. Now, you may have read this story before. In fact, it might have been me that read it to you. But as I read through, I'm going to show you some slides, and I just want you to have a think about what the key messages and the key themes of the book are. If you haven't read the story before, you might like to take a moment to have a look at the cover and have a think about what the story might be about. What's the cover telling you? And who might be in this story? The art class was over, but Vashti sat glued to her chair. Her paper was empty. Vashti's teacher leaned over the blank paper. "Ah, a polar bear in a snowstorm," she said. "Very funny," said Vashti. "I just can't draw." Her teacher smiled. "Just make a mark and see where it takes you." Vashti grabbed a felt tip pen and gave the paper a good strong jab. There. Her teacher picked up the paper and studied it carefully. She pushed the paper towards Vashti and quietly said, "Now sign it." Vashti thought for a moment. Well, maybe I can't draw, but I can sign my name. The next week, when Vashti walked into her art class, she was surprised to see what was hanging above her teacher's desk. It was the little dot that she had drawn. Her dot, all framed in swirly gold. I can make a better dot than that. She opened her never-used-before set of watercolours and set to work. Vashti painted and painted. A red dot, a purple dot, a yellow dot, a blue dot. The blue mixed with the yellow. She discovered that she could make a green dot. Vashti kept experimenting. Lots of little dots in many colours. If I can make little dots, I can make big dots too. Vashti splashed her colours with a bigger brush on bigger paper to make bigger dots. Vashti even made a dot by not painting a dot. At the school art show a few weeks later, Vashti's many dots made quite a splash. Vashti noticed the little boy gazing up at her. "You're a really great artist. I wish I could draw," he said. "I bet you can," said Vashti. "Me? No, not me. I can't draw a straight line with a ruler." Vashti smiled. She handed the boy a blank sheet of paper. "Show me." The boy's pencil shook as he drew his line. Vashti stared at the boy's squiggle, and then she said, "Sign it." You might have recognised yourself or someone else in that story. Has there ever been a time when you thought you couldn't do something? What was it? And how did you overcome it? Vashti didn't believe in herself. She thought she wasn't able to draw. What happens to Vashti when she starts to believe in herself? What happens when she starts to believe that she can do it? When Vashti finally realises that she can do it, she discovers that there are other people out there who say they can't do things as well. How can you help others when they don't believe that they can actually do something? At the back of the book there is a dedication. Firstly, do you know what dedication means? Pause the video and reflect on it. So a dedication in this context is where the author has chosen to write the story in honour of someone else. In this case, it was his teacher who inspired him by saying or doing something in order to change him or make him better in some way. So this book is dedicated to the author's teacher who dared him to make his mark. What does this phrase mean? How could you make your mark? So today we shared a story, but I asked you at the beginning to have a think about what the key messages and themes are in the story. What sorts of words or phrases would you use to describe the messages and the themes in the story, The Dot? So here are some of the words that you might have said about today's key messages. I would say the story was most definitely about believing in yourself and thinking that there are things that I am capable of doing, because sometimes it's quite easy to just say I can't do it and give up. But we need to be resilient and we need to keep trying. It's been great to speak to you all again. I really look forward to seeing you next week. Remember to take care of yourselves. Keep well. Keep going with your learning. You're all doing an incredibly fantastic job and I'm incredibly proud of you, and I can see that in all the responses that we're getting back to school, and hopefully we will see you all back here soon. Bye.